the famous university, which is in Visakhapatnam. And post that, he worked with the defense forces as well as a quality control engineer. And his interest primarily grows around science and spirituality, and he's lectured on different topics in leading IIT colleges as well as NIT colleges like IIT Bombay, Kanpur, Vijay, IIT Surat, and more than 10,000 students in the last almost 3 decades, more than 3 decades, have benefited by Prabhuji's lecture. He joined ASCON in 1992, and he is heading the Pujari department since 2001. It's almost, again, more than 2 decades. So we see beautiful dresses, we see beautiful Shingar of Shishirada Vasabihari. Guruji has been leading that, and he's been a pioneer. Like across the world, many people come and take deity worship trainings, and that. But one of the places is called Juhu. Guruji has been pioneering that. We're very fortunate. Today, he agreed to give us his valuable time. So we once welcome him by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव हो गया, करताल दो। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय यशोदनंदन भज जनरंजन, यशोदनंदन भज जनरंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा जय राधा जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय यशोदनंदन भज जनरंजन, यशोदनंदन भज जनरंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, Jaya Radha जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रीमद ऐसी भक्त वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की मायापनोदीप धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की तुलसी महारानी की श्रीला प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुद्धिस्ट प्रोग्राम की श्री श्री राधारास बिहारी ललित विशाखा की श्री श्री सीताराम श्रीमान की श्री श्री गौर निताई की श्रीला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की all glories to assembly devotees, all glories to assembly devotees, all glories to assembly devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Which verse? 13th, na? 13th chapter, which verse? Huh? 4th. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, text number 4. Hindi or English? English? Tat kshetram yacha yadrikcha yadvikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Tat kshetram yacha yadrikcha yadvikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Tat kshetram yacha yadrikcha yadvikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. Now please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who that knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are. Purport. The Lord is describing the field of activities and the knower of the field of activities in their constitutional positions. One has to know how this body is constituted, the materials of which this body is made, under whose control this body is working, how the changes are taking place, where from the changes are coming, what the causes are, what the reasons are, what the ultimate goal of the individual soul is, and what the actual form of the individual soul is. One should also know the distinction between the individual soul and the super soul, their different influences, their potentials, etc. One just has to understand this Bhagavad Gita directly from the description given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all this will be clarified. But one should be careful not to consider the Supreme Personality of Godhead in every body to be one with the individual soul, the Jiva. This is something like equating the potent and the impotent. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Salakaya चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Everybody is familiar with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Huh? So once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was performing this 21-hour Leela. Uh, 21 hours Lord Chaitanya manifested different of his forms. How many of you know what is the meaning of Advaita Acharya? You know Advaita Acharya, how he got that name, Advaita Acharya? I did. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravartha. So Prabhupada explains that he he was writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita in such a way that every verse of Bhagavad Gita is explained in a devotional way, with a devotional meaning, bhakti. Once Hridayananda Maharaj, he was actually complaining to Srila Prabhupada. Hridayananda Maharaj, he was a PhD scholar at the time in one of the universities in America. So he was saying that Prabhupada, one of my professors, he studied your Bhagavad Gita. Then he was complaining that every chapter, every verse, you are only talking about Bhakti Yoga, right? Bhakti Yoga. So, but there are so many yogas described. Then Srila Prabhupada smiled and said, that is very good. That means he is reading. So, if you read 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Dhyana Yoga, uh, it is about meditation and all. So, Prabhupada only spoke about Bhakti Yoga, like that. So, Prabhupada said, Advaita Prabhu, he got the name as Advaita Acharya because he is Acharya in explaining Bhagavad Gita in every verse in a devotional mood, devotional way. Is it clear? Advaita Acharya, right? Advaita Acharya. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was performing this pastime of 21-hour Leela. So till that time, Mahaprabhu, he was actually acting like a scholar, very proud scholar. He would go around Ajanubhav, Ajanulambita Bhujau, Kanakavadatav. Mahaprabhu, his hands are extending below the knees. And he has a very beautiful blackish curly hair. And his eyes are like lotus petals. He would walk like a lion, or he would walk like a elephant, and then he's followed by so many people on the street, and then so he would catch somebody, come, let us have charcha, nyay, debate on philosophy. Everybody would run away because Mahaprabhu was so expert. He would make a statement, he will tell him, defeat this statement. Then if that other person was unable to make a statement defeating his statement, Mahaprabhu would make a statement defeating his statement. And again he would make another statement which is defeating that statement. He was so expert. One day, one nowadays we see, on the TV and all, there is debates, and then that fellow, what's his name, Arnab Goswami, he would shout like a dog, Kai, kai, kai. Others also they shout, kai, 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 kai. Oh, nobody can listen. Nobody can hear. But previously it was not like that. The debate means very politely they would talk, and then they won't make vitandavada. Vitandavada means vitandavada means uh, making a statement which is not connected to the subject. Just speak anything, right? Uh, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarganam aham adir antamcha, right? Uh, Madhyam evaham Arjuna. Then Adhyatmika Vidya Vidyanam Vadaha Pravadatamaham. 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita says that Vada, that is the statement that that arguments which are based on scriptures. Krishna says, it is me, like that. So anyway, this this that's how Mahaprabhu was such a big scholar. So one day he met one very huge expert scholar in Nyaya. Even Sharum Bhattacharya, he was a very big expert in Nyaya. Then Mahaprabhu wrote one book. So that scholar said, I wrote a book on Nyaya. Then Mahaprabhu also told that I also wrote a book on Nyaya. So please read this book. He gave that book to that scholar. Then that scholar read, and he started crying. They're crying. Then he said, what happened? Why are you crying? He said, this is the best book on Nyaya in this whole universe. Till now, nobody could write such a book on Nyaya. Then Mahaprabhu asked, why are you crying? And then he said, I also written a book. If anybody reads your book, nobody will read my book. Oh, it's like that. Then Mahaprabhu threw it in the Ganga. He said, okay, let your book become famous. So he would catch hold of Srivas Thakur. Mahaprabhu would catch hold of Srivas Thakur. Then Srivas Thakur would avoid, because devotees are not interested in arguments, because they consider it's all of you also. My advice is Prabhupada quotes from Padma Purana that one should not look at the face of an atheistic person. There is a video, you can watch. Prabhupada videos are there. There is one building here. Prabhupada was sitting on the terrace, then he was speaking. Who is a madman? Prabhupada said, sum total of stupidity, madman. And then atheistic people, they are madmen, Prabhupada said. Madmen. Like that. Anyway, so we should not argue with atheistic people because without any logic, they believe that there is no God. So no point. So devotees, we should if somebody sometimes Prabhupada said you can argue, but in general devotees they don't. So Srivas Thakur said no, no. Then he would look at Mahaprabhu. He was so handsome, beautiful. He would look like Krishna, except for the color. Then Srivas Thakur would ask him, "Why didn't you become a devotee of Krishna? Why are you wasting your time? You know, why are you wasting your time?" Like that. And then Mahaprabhu would smile and said, "See, now you are running away from me. One day, when I get mercy of devotees like you, one day I would become a better devotee than you, that all of you would run after me." Then she would, like that, Shivas Thakur would bless, say, okay, okay, become a devotee. And then later on, something happened and then he became a devotee. Then he was exhibiting this Leela of 21-hour Leela, and then he was showing his beautiful form to everybody. And then he was fulfilling all the desires. Then he was reminding them how Mahaprabhu saved all of them like this. Do you remember Shivas? Once this Musliman log, they have attacked. They were attacked you. Then then you said. Then you came with the family. No, that is Ganga. Ganga. You know, Ganga Chakravarti. Ganga Chakravarti. He said, then you wanted to avoid these people, Muslims. Then nobody was there. Then you were asking the boatman, can you cross Ganga? Then he was refusing. You know. Then you are saying, I will give everything because these Muslims will come and rape the women and all that. Then suddenly one boatman came. Uh, you know, then he wanted to surrender everything to me, to that boatman. He said, please take me across. Then that boatman took you across. Then he said, I am that boatman. I came as a boatman. Like then Mahaprabhu was revealing all the secrets. Then Advaita Acharya, he would fast. He would fast if he doesn't get the meaning of any verse, so that to describe the verse in a devotional mood, devotional way. So he would fast. So Mahaprabhu was recounting how one day Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he was actually fasting, because why I am saying this 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita is so difficult to understand. Even Advaita Acharya, he was unable to understand, to write it in a devotional mood. Then he was fasting. Then Mahaprabhu said, Advait Prabhu, you are not different from me, and then I cannot tolerate you fasting like this. Then I came in your dream and I explained. So that verse will come later, maybe next 2 weeks. Sarvato pani padam yat, sarvato shiromukaha, sarvatah shrutimal loke, sarvam avriti tishtati. I think 13th verse or 14th verse. It will come, Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter. So, but this 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita actually very difficult to understand. If you understand this 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita, you will understand Bhagavad Gita properly. Otherwise, you will be misled, right? So that is why this I will tell you. So Mahaprabhu explained that verse. Mahaprabhu had to explain that verse. Sarvatapani Padanya. We are very, very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada commented this chapter so beautifully that there are some Mayavadi, Shankaracharya and other Mayavadi scholars, they have interpreted this chapter in a very completely different way. In a different way. I will try to bring out this point, in a few minutes. If you meet there are many Dadivalas, this Ananda, that Ananda, right? So how do you test them? Whether they are bona fide or not, right? So you should ask them two questions, right? Number one, I will test you, how much knowledge you have, right? Body has form, soul has no form. True or false? I will repeat the question. Body has form, soul has no form. True or false? How many of you are true? How many of you false? How many of you true? Please raise your hands. True. Body has form, soul has no form. True. How many? Nota. How many of you? Huh? Huh? No comments. Everybody did not answer, right? I will ask again. Body has form, soul has no form. True. How many of you are saying true? How many of you are saying false? आपका हाथ नहीं? कौन सा? Yeah. One more question. According to you, uh, in our body, there is only one soul. True or false? Huh? Huh? According to Bhagavad Gita, right, there are more than one soul in the body. True or false? The first question is false. Body has no form, soul has form. How? I will explain to you. It has this chadar has a shape, right? This is a shape. So this shape belongs to what? Hand, right? Hand. Suppose if I take it out, there is no shape, right? In the same way, this body now has got a form, right? Has got a form. As soon as the soul leaves the body, after 1 or 2 days, this body loses its shape, right? So the form belongs to what? Soul or the body? So why you are saying it is soul has no form? Huh? You are mistaken, right? So like you, all these so-called sadhus, right? They say the soul has no form, body has form. The scientists, scholars, everybody thinks like that. If somebody says that there is only one soul in the body, then he is an atheist. Yeah? Where it is said? 13th chapter, third verse. Bolo, read. Kshetrajnam chapi bhutani sarvakshetreshu bharata. So, Prabhupada explains. In this verse, cha means also. Cha means also. That means I also, in the second verse, like first verse, Arjuna asked, what is body, what is Prakriti, Prakritim Purushan Chaiva. kshetra kshetrajnam cha etad veditum ichchami jnanam jnayam cha keshava. These are the questions of Arjuna. Krishna answered these questions. So the first question is what is idam shariram kaunteya kshetram iti abhidiyate. This body is known as field of activities. Etatto vettam prahur kshetrajna iti tad vidaha. One who occupies this body, knower of this body, is called kshetrajna. That means the first definition is given that what is kshetrajna? Kshetrajna is the soul who is knower of this body. Right? Then in the third verse, Krishna says, kshetrajnam chapi bhutani sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am also knower of this. That means Krishna is also sitting in our heart. Is it clear? If you know this, then you are a theist. All these people, so-called sadhus, who say that there is only one soul, he is a. You all agree? So next time any Ananda or any sadhu, any Rishi, they say they are giving lectures. Said, Swamiji, I have one question, two questions. Right? What are they? Body has form, the soul has true or false. Then he will say true. Most of them will say true. Right? Then in the body, how many souls are there? One or more than one? He will say one. Then you tell him you are not a sadhu. You are a dongi. One more test, how to, there are many people, who claim that I am God, he is incarnation of God. All the chelas, they claim that, our Guru is God. Right? Our Guru is God. So, what is your name? Stand up. Attention. See, his hands are not coming below the knees. So you are not God. Sit down, thank you. Right? If anybody claims, you should ask him, get up. Attention. And then Prabhupada says, if somebody says, I am God, then you are a dog. GOD God, then you are a DOG dog. Is it clear? Prabhupada writes in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, this chapter, Prabhupada says, uh, you must know that the soul, uh, Paramatma, Atma, Paramatma, and the body, the combination of these three. If you understand these three things properly, then you are in knowledge. Right? Then you are in. So, unfortunately, most of the commentators, they on this chapter, 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita, they have erred, they have committed a great blunder on commenting this verse, Kshetrajnam chapi bhutani sarva kshetreshu bharata. So they have equaled individual knower and the supreme knower as one. So in the later verses, Krishna is describing about the soul and super soul. So initially he explained about the soul, and then in many verses he explained about the super soul actually. And then to our great fortune, Prabhupada commented very beautifully. So we know Otherwise, every other commentator, they have mistaken, they have erred in commenting that those verses belong to the soul. For example, Bahirantascha Bhutani, Acharam Charamevacha, Sukshmatvat Tad Na Vijneyam, Durastam Chantikechatat. Right? He is present, outside and inside. Bahirantascha Bhutani, Acharam Charamevacha. He is present in moving entities. He is present non-moving entities. He is so small that very difficult to know him. Sukshmat, Durastam Chantikechata. He is nearby, he is very far. Right? He is very far. So they have explained this verse as the belonging to the soul. But actually, we are not present inside and outside. We are not nearby and we are not far away. Right? So this chapter, Prahlad Maharaj, is the case where Krishna is nearby. Durastam cha Chantikechata. For Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna is very nearby. For Hiranyakashipu, very far away. Right? Very far away. Prabhupada gave an example that there are so many bulbs in this room, right? So many bulbs in this room. This bulb is there. The light coming from this bulb is limited to this room only. And in the other room also there are bulbs. And the light coming from that bulb is only limited to that room only. But the sun rays are in this room also and that room also. Right? That room also. In the same way, the consciousness of the individual soul is limited to this body only. Right? Limited to this body only. But the consciousness of the super soul is Kshatrajna Chapi Bhutani. He knows all the bodies. Super consciousness. Just like sun rays is present in every room, like that consciousness of the super soul is present in every body. That is just like if I pinch you, you will get the pain. If I pinch him, you will not get the pain. Right? You will not get the pain. So the consciousness of the individual soul is limited to a particular body. So we are not all pervading. These Mayavadis, these impersonalists, they say right now we are not God, but actually if I do some meditation and all, I will become God. Right? I will become but it's no right from right now from the individual soul consciousness is limited to this body only, and the super soul knows all the bodies, and in fact is the real owner of these bodies. Right? I have I live in this body, and then I perform some activities, then I get some happiness and distress. Right? Karyakarana kartrutve hetu prakriti Purushah Sukadukkanam Bhoktrutve Heturuchate. Krishna says, Karyakarana, cause and effect. Cause and effect. This is this Prakriti. And the Sukadukha is experienced by the Purusha. Right? Purusha. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva, right? Purusha. What is actually Purusha? Right? Purusha means there are many meanings. One meaning is Purusha means the one who lives in this body is Pura. This body is called Pura. One who enjoys in this body is Purusha. Right? Purna Purnatattvat Purusha. Right? This body is full in the sense that we have got all the facilities to realize God. That is why we are called Purusha. Right? Purusha. Like that. But Krishna is Supreme Purusha. Right? Supreme Purusha. Because he is giving all the facilities for all of us to enjoy. So, these three distinctions we should make. There are body, there is body, there is field of activity, that is called field of activity, body, and there is a knower of that field of activity, two knowers of that field of activity. One is Atma, another is Anand. Is it clear? And in this chapter only, Krishna is saying, Upadrashta Anumanta Cha, Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara. Right? So, Paramatme vi chapi yukto, Dehesmin Purusham Param. You know, Krishna is the knower, Krishna is the witness, Krishna is the one who gives sanction, right? And then Krishna is the one who is enjoyer, you know? And then he is beyond this body. We are not beyond this body. So uh, we actually must understand that we are actually renting this place. Right? We are renting this place. As soon as the owner of this body says, get out from this body, we have to. Right? Yesterday I was reading Fourth Canto Bhagavatam. Prabhupada is saying that this body, death is so imminent that one cannot extend our stay even for a second. Right? I have, Prabhupada is saying, I have seen one person, one who is dying on the bed, he is on a deathbed, is requesting the doctor, doctor, please extend, give me some 3-4 years. I have some unfulfilled plans. But he was kicked out. Right? He was kicked out. So we must understand that we are not the owner of this body. We are only a tenant. Tenant. And then there is no agreement written between owner and the tenant. You know, whenever the owner wants, get out, then we have to get out. We have no, we cannot argue, please, you know. We have signed some agreement. There is no agreement, right? Always remember, there are many wrong interpretations on this chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Once, like Prabhupada actually, he was always talking about this, you know, Mayavad philosophy, right? So when in 1991, when I started reading Bhagavad Gita, I was wondering who is this Mayavadi? Who are these Mayavadis? So this Mayavadi, once, you know, one boy, he was there, and this Mayavadi, one Mayavadi guru, Shankaracharya Sannyasi, he told him, uh, please chant, you know, all the time, Soham, Soham. You know what is Soham? Sa Aham means I am that, I am that. Soham, Soham. Like that. So the once Radha, you know, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, he was giving lecture. So in one somebody's house in Mumbai only. So one person, one old person, he was saying, Soham, Soham, you know. And then Maharaj became very angry. He said, please remove this Lord Shiva from here. Soham, Soham, Soham. So later on, after some time, one Shiva Vaishnava met him. Then, what are you chanting? He said, Soham, Soham. Right? Then he told him, you add Da, Da. Then Dasoham, Dasoham. And so he was then he was chanting Dasoham, 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 right? After some time, this Mayavadi sannyas again met him. He said, "What are you chanting nowadays?" He said, Dasoham, Dasoham. I said, "Why?" "Because I told you Soham, Soham." No, one Vaishnava told me, "You add Da." Then he said, "You add one Sa. Sada Soham, Sada Soham." Right? He became Sada Soham, Sada Soham. He was chanting Sada Soham, Sada Soham. Then after some time, uh, again Shiva Vaishnava met him. He said, "Now what are you chanting?" He said, "Sada Soham, Sada Soham." He said, "You add one more Da." Huh? Das Dasoham. I am servant of the servant. Right? So we are not anything. We are not. Prabhupada said we are nothing. We are nothing. We are. Our size is minute, right? Very minute. What is the size of the soul? You have an idea? Huh? One 1/10,000th of a tip of hair, right? So we must know the science of the soul. Uh, Anybody who wants to understand Bhagavad Gita, they must by heart or very deeply memorize, remember the verses from 2.11 up to 2.30, around 20 verses, 29 verses, 19 verses, right? All the verses Krishna explained in Science of the Soul. Prabhupada, Prabhupada said, all the books and all the libraries, if they are burnt, there is no loss. If there is 3 books are there, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? The knowledge that is given in second 2.11 to 2.30, nowhere you will find, right? Nowhere you will find the science of the soul. When you understand the science of the soul, there uh, there are 2 things that bother us a lot. You know what? One is shoka, another is moha. Shoka means uh, lamentation. Shoka, lamentation. Right? And then moha. Moha means uh, moha is not attachment. Who told you? Moha is raga is attachment. No? Moha is illusion. Right? Moha is illusion. So if you understand science of the soul, you can give up these 2 things, shoka and moha, right? Uh, uh, the definition of moha is to accept something true as untrue, then untrue as true, right? Uh, in modern world, especially Hinduism, one of our devotee research, he says Hinduism means Buddhism. Hindus means Buddhas. They accept some Musalman as God. You know who? Huh? Nowadays, Vande Bharatam Express also goes there direct. Right? Unfortunately, they made one Musalman into God. And they think that Krishna is ordinary person. That is called huh? Moha. Accepting ordinary person as God, and then God as a ordinary person. That is called moha. Right? To accept this body as the self and to think that the soul doesn't exist. That is called right. Then what is shoka? Huh? What is lamentation? What is lamentation? Huh? Crying on? Yeah. आपका गर्लफ्रेंड छोड़ के चली गई, ब्रेकअप हो गया, right? Then you are sitting and crying. That is called. That's what we do, right? All the time. Huh? Something we have got, we lost it. There are two things, you know. Uh, Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Shochati, kankshati. Kankshati means desiring. Shochati means lamenting. These are the two qualities of the soul, conditioned soul. Always lamenting or desiring. Right? There are three words are there: hurry, worry, and sorry. What are they? So, if you tell any of the young boys or young guys, younger ladies, say, please come to Krishna Bhakti. We are having lecture. I am in. I am very busy, Prabhu. Right? I am very busy. I am very busy. Right? They say I am very busy. They are always in hurry. Right? They don't have time. Then up to 20, from 20 to 40, young age, they are always in a hurry. Then from middle age, it starts, worry, right? You're married, then you have a home loan, you have car loan, huh? Then the wife goes to nice clubs and beauty parlors. Right? The beauty parlors. Once, one person went to doctor. His teeth are broken. Then the doctor was asking, क्या हो गया? How your teeth are broken? अरे क्या बोलूँ मैं doctor? My I went late, I went home. My wife came late. I asked her, why are you late? She said, I went to the beauty parlor. I simply asked, is it closed? समझ में आया? Huh? Is it closed? Then वो मुक्का मारेगा. Anyway, so they are always worry, because status quo, uh, they are worried about losing their status, right? After the age of 60, sorry. They are always sorry. ऐसा था, हम ऐसे थे, when we are young we went to शिमला. अभी खाना पछता नहीं. उधर खाया इधर खाया. Right? ऐसा. So hurry, sorry. But if you bring hurry in our life, we can avoid hurry, worry, and sorry. Right? HARI. They are all hurry, worry, and sorry. But if you want to get rid of them, you have to hurry. We have to bring hurry in our lives. Anyway, uh, Prabhupada actually gave, if you understand the science of the soul from second chapter Bhagavad Gita, you can give up two things. What are they? Shoka and Moha. Right? just like there is you understand what the science of the soul. Like you must distinguish between matter and the spirit, right? Matter and the spirit. Uh, the the soul has certain qualities. I will tell you. Uh, Note it down. Number one, individuality, right? Number two, intentionality. Number three, the soul has qualities. Matter has no qualities. Then the soul has form. Matter has no form. I will explain this. What is individuality? Right? Individuality means, suppose two identical Maruti Ertiga cars, same color, same make, same design, right? They come and stop at the traffic signal. When the green light is shown, one car goes to the left, another car goes to the right, because even though the cars are same design, same color, it's made of same material, but the occupier of the car, driver, are different. Drivers are different. They are individual drivers. Like that, suppose I will give 1 crore rupees to all of you. What will you do? What will you do if I give you 1 crore rupees? Huh? Huh? What will you do? Huh? What will you do? Huh? Donate. आप क्या करेगा? Huh? What is that? You'll give to the temple. You raise one temple. आप क्या करेंगे? हाँ? पेरेंट्स को दे देगा, कृष्ण को नहीं देगा. आप क्या करेंगे? What will you do? Huh? You will not take. बुद्धू है. 50-50 business. Huh? What will you do? You will buy a car. 1 crore क्या करेगा? ओ 1 crore. 1 crore में इतना महंगा. अच्छा है. See, same question, but different people do different things. Why? Because everybody there is an individual soul, right? The body is made. All our bodies are made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, right? All of our bodies have blood, pus, and all that. But our consciousness is different because the souls are individual and the desires are different. If you understand this, right, you cracked the philosophy. Otherwise, everybody says that all the souls are same. Shankaracharya, Madhusudan Saraswati, so many other philosophers, they say there is only one soul. Got it? You got it? Individual, right? That is every soul is a Right? Next is intentionality. Intentionality. Suppose I kick out a football from this room. Right? I kick out football from this room. I myself go out. This function of going out from this room are same for the football and me. But the football doesn't know that I'm going out of this room. But I know that I'm going out of this. That is called intentionality. Intentionality. Is, are you understanding? Intention. I have intentionality. The scientists, they are saying that all the rules to apply in all places to on all things, right? They all this law of gravitation, for example, Newton's law of gravitation. Say they are universal. They say it applies to everybody, all of us, on all, and then everywhere. But the law of gravitation is not applicable to us. Suppose to living entity. Just suppose you throw a bird. You throw a bird. Will it fall? Huh? It may fly. Is it not? Suppose if I throw you, what will happen? You may no. Suppose I throw you from 13th floor building. On the way you may catch some window, right? Or pray, oh Bhagavan, Rakshak karo. Is it not? So law of gravitation doesn't apply on me all the time. Is it not? If he's Superman, then he will fly, right? Like all the boys, young boys, uh, before marriage, they are like Superman. They are ready to do anything, right, for the girlfriend. Then up to for some time after marriage, he is like a Spider-Man. After many years of marriage, he is a Doberman. Right? Doberman. So that is called intentionality, right? Intentionality, individuality. Then what is it? What is this called? Huh? How do you know that this is a kartal? Right? I can suppose if I keep it on a book or a paper, it becomes a paperweight. If I throw at him, this becomes a weapon, right? Can you say by measuring the weight and calculating the dimensions of this particular object, can you define that this is a kartal? No. When I play and sing, then it's called matter has no qualities on its own. The qualities are in me. The way I use it, it becomes like that. This, if you are able to understand this, huh? This has no matter, has no nirvisesha. Matter has no qualities. I have the qualities. The soul has qualities. If I use it in a particular way, I want to, how do I want to use it? It depends on me. Is it not? Nirvisesha Sunyavadi, right? Prabhupada is saying, Prabhupada's prayer. Nirvisesha is matter, not the soul. The soul has all the qualities. Krishna has all the qualities. Right? The soul is individual. Soul is intentional. Soul has form. Right? Soul has form. Uh, uh, the matter has no consciousness, right? Uh, just like if you kick a, suppose you know Mike Tyson, huh? If you go and kick him, what will happen? Huh? हड्डी फसली एक कर देगा ऐसा कुछ है ना right? Suppose if the Mike Tyson was dead, if you kick him, huh? If you kick him, nothing will happen, right? Nothing will happen because he has no consciousness, right? He has no consciousness. One more quality I will tell. How many of you uh, know the value of this? This the scientists they claim that this body is made of chemicals, right? Do you know what is the value of this body? Huh? 220 rupees, right? Do you know how much is the uh, latest Mercedes Benz car? Maybe around 3.5 crores. Mercedes batch, back or something. Yeah, something like that. Suppose your friend is driving the car, Mercedes Benz car, right? And the car meets with an accident. You will save the car first or your friend? Huh? Friend. You're all bad businessmen. Because Mercedes Benz car costs 2.5 crores, and then your friend costs only 210 rupees, 20 rupees. You must save car, right? Right? But you are saying you'll save? Why? You know what is the most expensive chemical? Uranium, titanium. It will cost one goni cost crores of rupees. Suppose a rich man, suppose a rich man, he takes one bag of uranium and says that he takes the bag and throws in the ocean. Then you are happen to be there. Then you say, "Why did you throw?" I said, "It is my bag of chemicals. I will do whatever I want." Right? I purchased. I will do whatever I want. Next day, he will take his 6-year-old son and throws him in the ocean. Then you ask him, "Why did you throw?" He said, "According to modern science, he's just a bag of chemicals, and it's my bag of chemicals. I will do whatever I want." Will you keep quiet? Why? Because the body has a value because the soul is present in that body, right? uh, so soul is valuable or the body is valuable? Soul is valuable, right? Suppose the boys, all of you are fans of some actresses. You are a fan of, huh? Don't feel shy, Kumar. You go to your room, you will see some big poster. Huh? Huh? You? Huh? तो ओल्ड हो गए हाँ आप come on huh? So, huh? Suppose Katrina Kaif is dead, will you bring her body and keep? You are a fan of Katrina Kaif because she is beautiful, right? Yami Gupta is right. Suppose if she is dead, will you bring? No, no, right? Right? Will you won't, right? Suppose you have a girlfriend, then you say, "I'm." She's very beautiful. Everybody is having a girlfriend because I love you because you say because she's beautiful, right? कोई ugly girl को कोई girlfriend नहीं रखता है, unless she has money, right? So, will you keep? Suppose if she is dead, will you keep her body? Once one girl is asking one boy, "Do you love me?" He said, "I love you so much." He said, "How much?" Very much. Then the girl asked, "How much? Like you, Shah Jahan?" Yeah, you do you love me like Shah Jahan? Huh? You know what? Yeah, yeah. Actually, so will you build Taj Mahal? Then he said, I already purchased the plot. You are only delaying it. You know. Anyway, jokes apart. So the beauty belongs to the body or the soul. Value belongs to soul or the body. The soul is valuable. Soul is beautiful. How much they are teaching you about the beautiful soul and valuable soul? Is anybody teaching? Are they discussing Lok Sabha? Are they right? Are they teaching? Are they discussing in the TV panels? This is the folly of modern civilization, right? This is a this is the soul. You understand? This from second chapter. I made all these points, analyzed. Right? Number one is soul is individual. Number two, intentional. Number three, soul has qualities, body has no, matter has no qualities. Number four, yeah. Number five, consciousness. Yeah. Then number six, soul is valuable, and the soul is beautiful. This body gets its beauty because of the presence of the soul. As soon as the soul leaves the body becomes decomposed and unbearable. You don't want to see a dead body, right? And sometimes when people carry dead bodies, we turn away, right? We don't want to see dead bodies. I know one guy who loved his girlfriend or whatever wife so much. So when she died, he didn't want to see her body, because he said, "I want to remember her as a jolly and living and beautiful. I don't want to see that body lifeless." Right? वो पूरा फूल जाता है, बॉडी पूरा फूल जाता है, हाँ? नाक में कापूस डालते हैं, हाँ? पैर को बांध देते हैं, right? 1 o'clock? Huh? Everybody was feeling hungry, no? Uh, so that is actually the soul, right? So actually, there are this world is compared to material ocean. Then in this ocean, there are waves, right? If you see, waves. I saw one video where the people, I know, and some people who are working in the ship, that ship, sometimes the waves are so huge, the ship becomes like this. They can't eat, उल्टा पलटी हो जाता है, ऐसा हो जाता है. Very dangerous waves are like that, right? And then people are, suppose if somebody is fell into ocean, he's hit by waves of the ocean, like that. There are 6 waves of the ocean. What are they? Bolo Gopinath, Pramod Gopinath. What is your name? Huh? Bolo. What are the 6 waves of material existence? I will tell you. Uh, Hunger and thirst. Right? Hunger and thirst. Old age and death. And Shoka and Moha. What are the 6 waves of? 6 waves of material existence. Right? What are they? Hunger and thirst. पापी पेट का सवाल है साहब. ऐसा बोलते हैं, पापी पेट का सवाल. Right? पेट पूजा. I think in Govinda they have that app, Pet Puja. When we pay something, Pet Puja, it comes. Huh? Pet Puja. Huh? Yeah. Pet Puja. Right? As soon as we wake up in the morning, we feel hungry and we feel thirsty. Right? And then the run starts. दौड़, सब लोग दौड़ते रहते हैं दोनों के लिए, right? Right? Right. Then you are all working or studying? Some are working, right? So why do you study? Why do you study? Huh? Huh? Why do you want a good job? Good money. What do you do with the money? Eh? You study to get a certificate, right? Then the certificate will give you job. The job will give you, and that money will first. What you will do with that money? Purchase grains, right? Suppose if there are no grains, you will not go and purchase iPhone 15. Is it not? So why do you purchase grains? Huh? Because of hunger. Otherwise, what will happen? You will die. The whole world is. But actually, uh, there is no need actually to worry about hunger and thirst, because uh, there. I will give you 2 stories. I will tell you one interesting story. Prabhupada told this story. Once one sadhu went to beg. Madhukari. They used to do Madhukari. So that sadhu just turned young. Uh, then he went. Then the young daughter of that house came and gave some grains. So that boy was surprised because he never seen any woman in his life. So he was asking that girl, why your chest was swollen. Then she was very insulted and she was very angry. Then she went and complained to her father that that sadhu is commenting about this about my chest. Then the father came and asked, "What are you saying?" I just asked why her chest is swollen. Then the father understood that this sadhu is innocent. He never saw a woman in his life. He said, she is called a woman. In future, she will give birth to a child. So they are meant for giving food to the child. milk to the child. Then that sadhu was surprised. अरे फ्यूचर का बच्चा के लिए भगवान ऑलरेडी अरेंज किया है, हमारे लिए अरेंज नहीं करेगा? Huh? So then why I have to beg? He threw it. Once Akbar and Birbal, they went in disguise, to see what is the condition of their Rajya. It became in the evening, it became night, dark in the night. So Akbar suggested, let us stay back in this village. Right? Tomorrow we'll go back. So Birbal said, okay, we'll stay back. Then Akbar said, let us go into the village and then beg for some food. Then Birbal said, I don't want to come because I have to finish my rounds. Hare Krishna. He was a big devotee of Lord Ramchandra. Then the Akbar said, ऐसा थोड़ी बैठने से थोड़ी खाना मिलता है, right? We have to go, all of you are thinking like that only, no? All of, we must work hard and then to get some money and then we'll get some food. So like that we have to go and ask some food. ऐसा है कि नहीं तुम्हारा राम, खाना बरसा देगा. Said whatever it is, I am not coming. I have to chant my rounds. So Akbar went. He got some food. He ate. Then he thought, I will take some food for Birbal also. So he brought the food for Birbal. Just see, you have to work hard. You have to go. Badshah, आप क्या बोल रहे? I was simply sitting and chanting Rama Rama. Badshah himself begged and brought food for me. Right? So, Prabhupada quoted this verse many times. Shrinvanti gayanti grunanti abhikshashah smaranti nandanti tavehitam janaha tavayeva pashyanti achirena tavakam bhava pravaha paramam padam bhujam. So, bhava pravaha, Prabhupada says, these are the 6 waves of mental existence. Prabhupada quoted this. He said, hunger, thirst, old age and disease, old age and death, and shoka and moha. These waves of material existence will be extinguished. If you chant and hear about Krishna. Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Grinanti, Avikshanashaha, Smaranti, Nandanti, Tavehitam Janaha, Tavayeva Pashyanti, Achirena Tavakam, Bhava Pravaha, Paramam Padambujam. Anybody who chants Krishna's name, anybody who hears Krishna Katha, right? They have, anybody who accepts these things, or anybody who praises those people who are doing these things, they immediately, Achirena Tavakam, they immediately see the lotus feet of Krishna, Charanam Bhujam. For those who see your lotus feet, my dear Lord, for them, Bhava Pravaha Paramam Padam Bhujam. They overcome the 6 waves of right? Uh, uh, in the same way, in this chapter, this the soul is explained and the super soul is very elaborately explained. Right? From the verse onwards, Jneyam yattat pravakshami yajnatva amrutamashnute anadi mat param brahma nasatan nasaduchyate. From this verse onwards, Krishna explained about the super soul. Don't mistake. Many interpreters, they say that this is applies to the soul. There are all these verses, meanings of the verses apply to the super soul. Anadi. Then Sarvato Panipadam yat Sarvatokshi Siromukaha. Then Sarvendriya Gunabhasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. Right? Asakti Sarvabrushchaiva. Nirgunam Gunabhoktricha. Bahirantascha Bhutana. Acharam Charamevacha. Sukshmat Tatvatna Vijnayam. Durastam Chantike Chatat. All these verses. Avibhaktam cha Bhutana, Vibhaktim cha Vachesata. All these verses they belong. They explain the super soul, not the soul. These are the qualities of the super soul, not the soul. Right? Upadrishta Anumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara Paramatme Pichapyukta Dehesmin Purusham Param. Right? So super soul is our friend. Super soul is our friend. I will narrate one very interesting pastime. Prabhupada writes that if the super soul sees, you see. If the super soul hears, you hear. Prabhupada writes that unless the super soul wakes you up from the sleep, you cannot get up. You can experiment in your life. You can experiment in your life that suppose you want to wake up early in the morning. You don't have an alarm, right? Then you just tell the Lord that, my dear Lord, I want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He wakes you up. Your eyes automatically open. You can try this. Huh? Huh? You tried? Yeah. You just pray to the Lord that, my dear Lord, I want to wake up at 4. Usually I sleep during this time. So today I had to give class. So of course today's Prasadam was not there. So I slept and then I just prayed to the Lord because otherwise 1-2 घंटा चला जाता है. So I just prayed to the Lord, my dear Lord, I want to give lecture. Please wake me up at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock I got up. So and then the super soul is the one who gives us remembrance, who gives knowledge, and who gives forgetfulness. Right? Then he is our friend. In Kurukshetra Yuddha, before the war has started, Krishna made many plans, how to weaken them, the Kauravas. And Duryodhana's strongest point was Karna. Karna's strongest point was Kavachakundal, Sahaja Kavachakundal. Means he is born with the armor, body armor. As long as he is wearing that armor, nobody can kill him. So it has to be removed. So Indra came as a beggar because Karna had this vow that anybody who comes, he's a worshipper of Surya. So middle of the morning, day, 12 o'clock, he worships sun. At that time, anybody comes, asks anything, he will give. So Indra made a plan to ask that Kavachakundal. Right? So Suryadev came and warned him that don't give because the Brahmana that he's going to come tomorrow is not regular Brahmana, he is Indra. So Karna said, how can I say no? When Sachipati Indra is coming and begging, how can I say no? Then Suryadev said, okay, at least ask something in return. He said, what? So Indra has got Shakti Band. Ask him, that is Amogha. It is unconquerable. Ask him. So Indra came and asked, then he cut his armor and gave it to him. Then in return, I know that you are Indra, please give something. So the Indra said, I am very pleased you asked. Then he said, please give me your Shakti Band. He said, this Shakti Band can be used only once. You cannot use twice. But it is Amogha. So once after, up to the, when Bhishma Dev was Pradhan Senapati, he was very strictly followed all the rules. They made a rule that after sunset, no war will take place. But on 10th day, Bhishma fell. Then they broke all the rules. The fight used to go on in the night also. In Mahabharata, it was so nicely described. Such a technology they had. The whole warfield used to be lighted up and automatic. I think in Bhiwandi or somewhere I went recently. You go there, the lights are on. So when you leave the room, the lights are off. Somewhere recently I went. Anyway, so like that automatic lamp system, lighting system they had. One day, Karna and all, they are fighting like anything. And then Krishna said, you call Gatotgaj. You know, Gatotgaj is the son of a Hidimbi, demons. Neither. So Karna entered the war after Bhishma fell, from 11th day onwards. Otherwise, he took a vow that, because Bhishma Dev insulted Karna, said you are authority. Then he said, as long as Bhishma was there, I won't enter the battlefield. So after 10th day, Karna came. So then Gatotkacha was killing people like anything. People like anything. And then Dronacharya said, if this fellow continues like this, by tomorrow morning the war will be finished. Everybody was injured. Gatotkacha, Karna, by Gatotkacha, Karna, everybody was injured. Duryodhan was, blood was flowing from his body. Dronacharya said, you have to kill this guy. So you tell your friend Karna that he has Shakti Band. You use that Shakti Band and kill Gatotkacha. Right? Gatotkacha. And Karna said, no way, this is meant for Arjuna. Because he has taken every day he used to worship two weapons. One is Nagastra, another is Shakti weapon. Then Karna would worship, and he promised to Kunti that you will have only ginti kam nahi hoga, guilty change nahi hoga aapka, putron ka. 5 rahega. Either Karna will, either I will be there or Arjuna will be there. Remaining 4 I won't touch them. आपका गिनती खराब नहीं होगा बोला. Right? So आपका पुत्रों का संख्या कम नहीं होगा, बड़ा नहीं होगा. So he was thinking every day I will, like that I would use this Shakti weapon and Nagastra and kill Arjuna, like that. No, 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 no. Then Duryodhan said, what is the use of you killing Arjuna? Because today war is going to be finished. Right? So they forced him. Reluctantly, Karna used that Shakti weapon to kill Gatotkacha. When Gatotkacha was killed, Bhima was shouting, Putra, us taraf giro, us taraf giro. He is like ocean, mountain, वो जब गिरा था एक अक्षौणी सेना मर गया. इतना. When Gatotkacha fell, Krishna was dancing on the chariot. Hari bol, Hari bol. Bhima was shocked. Vasudev, he was very angry, because both are of same age, very angry. Because Gatotkacha was very first son of Pandavas, he was very dear actually. And then he helped him, so many people he killed. Said, I was very upset. Said, Vasudev, what is this? You are enjoying? You are joyful? When my son was dead, killed? This is unfair. Is unbecoming of you. Doesn't behove you. Like that. Arey Baba, I am very happy for 2 reasons. Ever since Karna entered the battlefield, I was very, very fearful that Karna would use this Shakti weapon and kill Arjuna. Then the question was raised that why Karna did not use all these days. Right? Because Krishna said, being situated in his heart as a super soul. Because every day morning, Karna would decide that today I will use the Shakti weapon and kill Arjuna. And by evening he will forget. So Krishna said, I am making him forget to use that Shakti weapon. to Shakti weapon. And I was very afraid that, how to save Arjuna. I am very relieved because he promised to the world, to Kunti Devi, anything may happen. I will not let anything happen to Arjuna. I will bring back Arjuna safely. Right? So he said that this fellow Ghatotkacha is a very dangerous demon. In order to kill him, I have to take one more incarnation. So दो फायदा हो गया, वो मर गया, अर्जुना बच गया. Like that, in every step, Krishna is sitting in our heart. I will finish by saying that when on the 17th day there was a ferocious fighting was going on between Karna and Arjuna. Right? Then Arjuna was using all kinds of weapons. Then Karna wanted to use Brahmastra. And then he forgot that mantra. Right? Forgot that. Then Shalya understood. My dear Karna, the Spurti is on Arjuna's chariot. How will you remember? Right? Spurti is Krishna. The Spurti is Krishna. So that Spurti is on Arjuna's chariot. How will you remember? Like that. So that is the, always remember, Super Soul is our friend. Consult with him. Learn to consult with him. So our mind is making noises, then the Super Soul is also speaking. You must distinguish between the noise of your mind and the noise of the sound of the. That is the gist of this chapter. How to recognize the super voice of the Super Soul. Right? Prabhupada says you have to control your mind. When you become purified, whatever good advice that you get, that is from the Super Soul. Whatever is harmful, that is from the mind. Try to distinguish. Mind is your enemy right now. Okay? So this is how you understand this 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita. I hope you got something new today. Did you understand? Remember this, especially the soul part. All this. When you understand that you are not this body, you are the soul. Right? So you can overcome so much grief. Okay? Thank you. Any questions, comments?
Yeah, I have one question regarding to like Mahabharata. When Arjuna performed the duty of Kshatriya by killing the other side, so how he remember Krishna at that time? There is a war environment. How Arjuna remember God at that time?
Very interesting. The same question was asked when Prabhupada was visiting for extension of the visa, American consulate in San Francisco. That lady, surprisingly, she asked this question. You say that you should always remember Krishna while working and all. How is it possible? Prabhupada counter questioned. Suppose when you are very busy, are you giving up your sleep and eating? It goes on. Like that, you become, if you practice, without your knowledge, all your, so much effort, all your daily necessities are taken care of. Eating, sleeping, wearing clothes and all. Like that, Prabhupada said, if you practice, it is possible. right? Once somebody blamed Krishna that you say that you are equal to everybody, but you are partial to Arjuna. Why? They criticize Krishna. They are blaming Krishna that you are very partial, Arjun Pakshapati. Huh? So Krishna told, that time Arjuna was sleeping. Krishna took him. Krishna took him. Said, Arjuna is sleeping. You keep your ear to the body of Arjuna. Tell me what you are hearing. So he kept his ear to Arjuna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That sound is emanating from the body. There is a process. I cannot tell. There is one devotee. He is a very dear friend of Prabhupada. His name is Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. When he was sick, one doctor came. He checked with stethoscope. Stethoscope बोलते हैं? Stethoscope. When the doctors checked with stethoscope our heart, lubdub, 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 ऐसा they will hear lubdub, lubdub. But this doctor heard Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Yeah. Bhakti Charu Maharaj told, he was serving Prabhupada in his last days. And then he opened the mouth of Prabhupada to put some medicine. Then to his shock, he found out that Prabhupada's tongue was relentlessly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. My advice is, are you remembering Krishna when you are chanting? Right? But now you practice when you are free how to remember Krishna. Then you can practice when you are working. You can remember Krishna. Right? We don't remember Krishna while chanting. Is it not? हजार बातों के बारे चीजों के बारे में हम सोचते रहते हैं. Right? Only sometime one devotee was telling Prabhuji, this is my experience also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, and suddenly some movie dialogue will come. कितने आदमी थे? अरे बाबा कितने आदमी सडनली, क्योंकि इतने बार हम शोले मूवी देखा था, कम से 20-25 बार, वही याद हो गया, इतने सारे चीज याद हो गया, हा? फिर वो सब याद आते हैं. चैंटिंग के टाइम में प्रभु जी इतना डिजायर्स आ जाते हैं, फिर मैं बोलता चैंटिंग अलग रख दे, साइड में रख दे. सारे चीज याद आ जाते हैं चैंटिंग के टाइम पे. कृष्ण के अलावा सब कुछ याद आता है. हमारा पास्ट, when we think about the future, we fantasize about future, yeah? We fantasize about girls, क्या क्या थॉट्स आ जाते हैं, है ना? वो सब पहले बंद करो, तभी अभ्यास योग युक्तेन चेतसा नान्यगामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थान चिंतयेत्. तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मरयुध्य च मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिः मामे वैश्यसि अवस्तुत्यम्. Then mame vaisyas asumshayam. Then abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasana. So these two verses are connected. In the beginning, Krishna is saying, always remember me while fighting. Then he gave an advice, abhyasa yoga, practice. So you practice to remember Krishna when you are free. Huh? So when you are free, you are thinking about your family members, huh? Your business plans. Is it not? Think about Krishna. For that, you read Prabhupada books a lot. Any other questions? So Prabhupada, originally we have a two-handed form. So just like you are traveling in a bus, but your form is um, welcome with the form of the bus, right? Because you are traveling in that bus. Like that, when you have a desire to enjoy in a particular way, a particular form is given, you know, imposing that form on the form of the soul. Otherwise, originally we have two-handed. That is why in Bible also it is said, man is made after the God. So God, Krishna is originally two-handed. So we are always part and parcel. So we all have two-handed, and these forms are imposed on us, superimposed. So that is called Swarupa. Mukti means Swarupena, to get back our Swarupa. That is called Mukti. Anything? Okay? Huh? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
We like to thank one Mrs. Ram Rupa who explained such difficult concepts. He said 30 chapters. I've read a few times, but it's always difficult to interpret and explain in a very simple language. We mentioned some basic points that we can remember, and discriminate very clearly what other understandings people have in the good and how Prabhupada has presented in a simple way. So we thank Roji for giving us time, and we also request that whenever time permits, can we address us.
Sure.
We'll loudly chant once the Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna.